Iran bans women from appearing in ads after outrage over sexy Magnum commercial.
Oh my goodness. Iran is just literally turning into the pit. Well, it's been there for a while.
It's do you want to read this?
If they saw ads in England, they would actually like go mad. If they watched English TV after the watershed, which is after 9 o'clock, where there's absolutely no filter. Oh my word. Iran's Ministry of Culture and Islamic Guidance has banned women from appearing in ads under the state's strict chastity rules. The announcement came shortly after a sexy commercial featured a woman in a loose-fitting hijab biting a Magnum ice cream. The advert enraged Iranian clerics who urged officials to sue the local ice cream manufacturer Domino. Officials ruled that the advert went against public decency and was an insult to women's values. Iran's Ministry of Culture and Islamic Guidance, in a letter to the country's art and cinema schools, reportedly said that as per hijab and chastity rules, women are no longer allowed to feature in ads. According to the letter, the ban conforms to the rulings issued by the Supreme Council of the Cultural Revolution. The ban is also based on Iran's rules and regulations concerning commercial ads which prohibit instrumental use of not only women, but also chicken and men. The interpretation of instrumental use varies depending on how strict the ruling administration is at a given time. The ban comes as Iranian women have been joining a social media campaign against the Islamic Republic's enforcement of wearing hijab in public. The hijab has been compulsory for women since the Islamic Revolution of 1979. Several women in the country have protested the strict rules by removing their headscarves in public, the White Wednesdays protest, and on social media. Many have also risked arrest and public backlash by walking in public without their hijabs. Yeah, there was videos when women would fight back on these White Wednesday protests, or just casually when they would be at the train stations and stuff. And if their hijab wasn't on properly, the Islamic enforcement or whatever would tell them to put it on. And other women were also telling them to do the same thing. So these women were actually answering back to other women who were older, who were fully covered in their hijabs, and these men, and then they were recording it. And that's obviously when also my camera, my weapon came about, because of we'd see them actually trying to tug them into police cars and stuff.
It's it seems so petty, the more you look at it, you can appreciate, as I was talking about, that how certain psychedelics can alter your consciousness, and you can look into certain other aspects of you're gonna appreciate where certain people are coming from. But the moment you look into organized religion, it seems like you've totally lost the plot. I can understand when people say that, okay, when I go to this beautiful church or this high ceiling mosque, I get this feeling, which is just knocking on the door of this feeling of awe or something, which can all be heightened through meditation and through some other substances. So you can understand, okay, these people were inspired by something, Looney Tunes or Marvel, Doctor Strange, and these people
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. There you go. So, but that's on the extreme end of it, where you would think that should be the purpose of going to a church or going to a mosque, or you want to untap this other part of your brain that we can't usually do normally, and that's what it leads to. This is what organized religion leads to, and you're like, man, what's the freaking point of that? Like, this woman eating Magnum ice cream, her mouth is open, and the dirty, filthy minds, what they're getting out of that is, we can all imagine what they're thinking about. Where is their mind going with this? Look at this. It's the same thing like with banana. If it's a banana or Magnum chocolate, or it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's just
because
ice cream.
If you're that like sexually frustrated and you've made everything taboo between the sexes, and you've almost erased women from society and forced them to cover, it's so every nation that is sexually frustrated like this just have the sex is constantly on their mind. That's why you see countries like Pakistan with the most disgusting porn searches, and they're notorious for it. Like, it's terrible, but that is because the nation is a sexually frustrated one. In Saudi Arabia, for example, men get a glimpse of an ankle and it's like, you know, whoa, that's the most flesh of a woman they've seen in yonks. So yeah, it's just, that's exactly what happens. I mean, the more you separate and divide the sexes and make everything so taboo, this is exactly what kind of mentality the society is going to have. And yeah, you're right also about organized religions being absolutely the at the bottom of the barrel for when it comes to like human experience. In terms of like ones, especially the Abrahamic ones, I would say, because they're so totalitarian in nature that you're almost constantly living your life out like a zombie with pre-conditioned things to do. And the thing is, this is where religion is a double like edged sword, because these experiences that, you know, we talk about that people can experience and tap into certain parts of their brains on whatever substances, in the same way, religious communal experience can bring about this like shared euphoric feeling. So when people are in church and they're like, you know, everybody's congregated and they're all singing mass together, that's bringing out those feelings. When you see those Sufis and they're doing their zikr and they're literally getting into a state of trance, that for them is I mean, obviously that's the closest thing. And for them in that moment, they've transcended their natural state of being, if you will. And I mean, in Islam as well, I think that the prayers are meant to try and do that, or like be kind of like, you know, the replication of that. But again, for most of the lay Muslims, you're just almost, I mean, it has the same stretches that you have in yoga, which is good for your body. That's fine. But you're repeating something on autopilot in a language you most likely don't understand. You're cussing out Abu Lahab like 5 times a day. You're really not going to transcend anywhere in your mind from that. But yeah, I think that's where religion, I mean, people, if you believe something, as you said earlier, with that much conviction, and then you bring a, like, you know, you put that into a power of numbers and the power of a combined mystical experience or combined euphoric experience, you can see how people would stay in that fold and think that that's giving them everything they need, you know?
If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone.